I'm very satisfied with the title music on this because it's I was hoping for a certain atmosphere and it nailed it. Hey, Lewis. I like this sort of just the initial atmosphere is so good. It's got this excellent like somber, apocalyptic kind of feel. Um, to some degree, it kind of reminds me of the feel that you get from the moment you set foot in Lindell in Elden Ring. Yeah, I checked everything before. I wanted to just double check before we get started. Um, Normally, if I was playing on keyboard and mouse, I would uh, invert Y. It's funny that they give you horizontal. That's rare. I typically will push for that. I actually, for the game that one of the games that I worked on, where it was relevant, um, I actually got that added. Pushed for it because I know, I know one person who I don't even talk to anymore. I don't even know they want to talk to me anymore. Who was a prominent invert X user, and now I don't know. I don't know what they're doing. They sort of disappeared. All right, let's get started. I've been wanting to play this for a while. This game's kind of like come in and out of like Twitter feeds and my news and whatnot for a while. I once said I did not play the games that I work on. I have. I don't stream the games that I work on. One game in particular, well, I guess two technically. One I worked on for a bit, and the other one I worked on for a decent while. I did play a long time ago. And then one significant large release I did play a reasonable amount, and then I'm trying to think of there's a few different games. One at one point I did play, but I haven't really, like, there's no streaming of any of that stuff. I think if I worked at a different studio, especially if it wasn't AAA, and I had a bit more, I guess it's really just if I worked at a very small, like Clay Entertainment or something, in a small studio. It would have to be an indie dev, and it would have to be something I'd want to play too. Then I think I would certainly be somewhat inclined to stream and talk about it. I don't think I'd go into any real detail development wise because, like, game dev is one of those things where you like, scrutiny is so strong, and players take the games that they play extremely personal, to the point where, like, for a AAA dev, like, players will find you, players will give you death threats, players will, like, try to break into your house or whatever. I mean, those are things that have happened. Luckily, not to me, not yet. People have tried to break into the office that I work at. People have tried to wander on in. Hey, Cabby. Yeah, NDAs are another thing. For AAA games, NDAs are like, nah. Even if it was like a service game, like, even if it was something that was released, you, like, if you plan to offer any post-release support, that's hard to do. Like you can't really talk about it's hard, like you could talk because what'll end up happening is like you might be talking about the game you're working on, but if you happen to have any post-release content that you're working on, or multiple like I don't know, if it's a service like online game, then you have to like immensely sort out like what's even out yet because like you could be working on something for a while that's just like not out, and you don't want to let that slip. Well, yeah, Lewis. More than one location for places that I've worked at, people have tried to walk in. Some people like places where we've had glass doors. People have had to try to like peek in, and we've like whether it's like security or office manager types, kind of got to be like, hey, you need to like get out of here, Sometimes you work in buildings that are somewhat shared spaces, right? So it's like one of the places I worked at was like the fourth floor of like a bar and grill, and there was like a few other places below like offices, but like I think the bottom was mostly a bar and grill. And it's funny. The funny thing is that that same place I worked at a long time ago had two separate bar and grill. No. That's actually not true. That was the next place, which had many of the same staff that also was at a bar and grill, because the first game dev that I worked at on site was in a hockey rink. One end was the offices, the other end was the bar and grill, and in the middle was the hockey rink, like ice hockey, or I guess all hockey. Um, and then a chunk of the studio that got laid off formed on like sort of a new studio that was the fourth floor of I think it was the fourth, third-ish, I don't know, floor of a building that also had a bar and grill at the bottom. So just, I don't know how that came about. But yeah, people would just like walk up to like glass doors and try to peek in. That's why like frosted windows are not like a style thing; they're a security thing. And honestly, probably should have just been solid heavy doors. In fact, one of the places, like speaking of all the random concerns you have, like one of the places I worked at one point, I think it was before I worked there, somebody was going around the parking lot and leaving like I guess a somewhat semi-open letters on the windshields of people who had like the company like parking stuff on their on their window. Like how you have to have a parking pass for a lot of these, like you'll get towed otherwise if you have reserved parking for your studio or whatever. And they were like, "Oh, this is the studio that the people who I want to have them read my manifesto. So let me like put this under their windshield, or like under their wipers or whatever." But yeah, like that's one of those things why like you don't want identifying marks, you don't want to wear company clothing, you don't want to have logos or anything on your car, because you have a big enough game, you have a big enough potential audience that you're going to reach people who don't like what you're doing. And what happens? Well, they are attached enough to this big phenomenon, this game that they're interested in, that anything that doesn't work out the way they want it to work out are going to cause problems. And it won't be that many people, but like if somebody if somebody tries to walk in your office and start something, nobody wants that. Or follow you home because you have a parking pass or something, or or whatever it ends up being on your or like you walked out of the building and you have a hoodie with the studio or the company or the game logo or whatever. Screw that. That was part of why one of the places that I worked at a long time ago had a shirt policy, right? So you had to wear shirts with the company logo on them. Even though nothing was front-facing positions at all. Like, you were literally, like programmers, designers, artists, all manner of sound engineers, whatever. And they were forced to wear the company logo at the office. And it was like cumbersome to, like, if you wanted to go out to lunch, it was cumbersome to, like, take off that shirt and wear a regular shirt instead, And that shirt policy was kind of shit because they pushed the idea for the longest time that everyone had shirt colors according to their position in the office. So like they had like QA and developers, they had like production and then management and then ownership and stuff. And like I think they thought it would be some sort of Star Trek style camaraderie or something, but it was a class system. It was like a very know thy place peasant, and it was used that way too. Tons of people rebelled against that. I'm surprised more people didn't quit from that particular studio, but nobody knew any better. It was all young people out of college. I didn't know any better. I was like, shit, I just want to keep my job and not have to deal with this shit. But it was like a constant source of grumbling. Luckily, that studio folded, and the owner of the company had to sell their house and all sorts of other stuff, and I hope they rot. That's really all it comes down to. Anyways, let's get going. Mouse cursor. Come on. Suppose it couldn't be a cat game without a mouse cursor. Hey, Steve. Is that me? Oh, we're doing the thing. Yeah, where they set the camera on your character. They get the camera ready for gameplay. Yeah, Lewis, Oh, one of these is a meow button. It's right face button. Yeah, like a sprint. Can you? Yeah. Okay. So R2, L2 to zoom. Okay, right stick is probably going to be some manner of maybe lock on. I think this is the second button I've had for vocalization on a game. No, probably a third, because Chivalry had one, Mighty Goose had one to honk, and we got the meow. Hey, Junk Collector. Oh. What can I do with triangle? Oh. What? Oh. I wasn't sure if I was going to get attacked. I wasn't sure if the cat would have a problem with that. Wait. Oh, you're still here? No, I turned away and one of them's gone. Is it good? No, well, that one's still there. Where did the black cat go? Crap! I just started and we're losing cats. No, here you are. Okay, you're just hiding in the shadow and I didn't notice you. Oh, is everyone getting shipped away? Oh, I guess this is a somewhat reasonable place to, oh, that's interesting. You immediately, it's an interesting feature, actually. Okay, so check this out. I wasn't sure if I'd be able to fall off or jump or invisible wall or what. But instead, you immediately sit straight down like that. Yeah, like you can't actually run for the ledge. You just immediately go to sit down. That's cool. I don't know if I've seen a lot of games that kind of, especially regarding ledges, kind of give you, you know, if you don't want the player to go down, you got to do something, right? And like some games make the character like, oh, I'm gonna like hang off the ledge, or oh, I'm gonna like look off. But it's not so convincing. This is another way to do it. I like this. They put some serious effort into this game. Oh, can you move the camera? No. It's interesting seeing these games where, like, I guess it was around the time, arounds where PBR started to become like a big thing, and I guess I don't know I would guess it's considered global illumination. I'm not super great with graphics tech, but like lighting just became great at one point. Like, I'm trying to think of what's trying to think of what game I remember first doing some of the stuff that made it look so good. I know an honorable mention was they had a PS2 MLB game that I don't really play baseball games. I saw it, I guess, on screenshots or YouTube or something. X. Oh, PlayStation notation. Let's go. I did, like, for a second, I knew it was, but I wasn't even reading it like that when I first started the game up. Oh, okay, that was a little jerky. Really don't want me going in the water. It's interesting though, because I'm using the Steam controller support, normally everything gets read in as an Xbox game. I wonder what they're doing to make it read properly. Some games do it, and I never have any idea how they're able to handle that well. Especially because, like, if they're not ignoring hiding direct input, it'll try to use both, and they'll fight each other. Or just display as an Xbox controller. I guess somebody must have figured this one out, and we're seeing that in more games now. To where, like, even though this is basically probably X input, or Steam allows you to just to, like, oh, it's a PS4 controller, the game supports to disable the X input and just allow it to use direct input. I don't know. But yeah, the lighting in these games has gotten better and better. And like the first one I saw that I don't think was PBR or anything was like some MLB 2K4 or something. And then every while or so you see a game with lighting like this, and it's just so freaking ridiculously good. I'm trying to think of what the last example was. Funny thing is that Dragon Aerie and some other places in Dark Souls 2 have really, really good lighting. With a bright, like, day lighting, and the contrast is really excellent. No interactions? Hey. No. I guess this is our kind of our day to day. Oh, am I leading this? Wait, come. Come. Yeah. I don't know what we're doing, but we're going. Let's look at water. No? Okay, so you can't... There's no, like... You can't treat this kind of like... Oh, you can actually. Interesting. Hold on. Yeah. So check this out. So if you... so you know how, like, Assassin's Creed has a button that, like, while you're sprinting, it just does all the stuff for you? If you... When the prompts come up, if you hit them, you just keep going. What do you hold X? Oh, there it is. It is. Okay, so you can do that. Whatever you're slow. Yeah, so X is automatic. You can hold this down and it just does it for you. Place or cross, I should say. PlayStation cross. Bottom face button. Okay, that's good to know. I'll need to know that later. And I can just hold this down and it kind of just keeps going. Like, so this is sprint and holding down cross, and I'm just moving the analog stick. I'm glad games are doing that more. Remember how we had... I've mentioned this a few times. I think PlayStation calls it cross. Yeah, it's cross, square, triangle, and circle. It's not actually... it's technically not X. Can't remember why. What was I going to say? So, remember how we had these discussions a while ago where I mentioned, like, one of my favorite interview questions for games, especially on the design side, is talking about, you know, what happens if you remove buttons from your controller, and how do you handle that with games, right? Like, you know, do you need to be able to sprint? Can you rely on the analog stick having a full sprint be as far out as you go, or do you do the Okami style thing where after enough time you start full sprinting, which Nier Automata does and some other games do? And as you remove more and more buttons, it's like, what if you don't have a jump button? Is that important? Do you need a jump button? Or in cases like this, should it just be automatic, right? Like if I'm holding down cross, it just does this for you, right? You just aim. And I'm glad that games are deciding, even though some stuff is still manual, like I still have to at least be pressing cross, if not holding it, to get up and down. The fact that you can hold it is very nice. And I want to see more games do stuff like that. Oh, okay, yeah, that's okay, hold on, check this out. Come here. Are you gonna... If I meow now? They come closer. Remember there being an interesting thing that cats... I don't know if this is true or not. I keep seeing this come up, and there's probably some truth to it. But apparently cats don't really meow to each other. At least maybe the same exact vocalization. My understanding is that it's mostly to kittens and to humans. Oh, we can scratch. Oh, you get... Is there like a cadence to it? Oh, you just keep going. You go ham on it. Okay. Can I leave marks in anything? You're reading something like cats domesticated themselves, and part of that was their meows mimic human baby speech. That sounds right. I'm not super sure. I'm not super sure the whole of it. There's a little bit of wetness. I don't know about... Oh, yeah, there we go. There's some paw prints. Can you like roll in it or anything? Well, cats definitely did something. Cats weren't domesticated in the same way dogs were. Oh, you're gonna get sick. It's funny you mention that. I'm actually trying to figure out, reflection-wise, is that actively reflecting the cat or not? I don't think so. Some games don't. Some games are closer to like, they're closer to like cube maps rather than like screen space reflections, or you know, nowadays ray tracing is a thing. I'm not so keen on ray tracing because I don't know how anybody's going to do it for cheap. I think it would be really great if we had absurd hardware. I think lighting is an interesting application for it, though. Something where you don't need a high level of precision. Something where, like, where the ray tracing is basically, like, used to simulate, I don't even know what the term would be, but, you know, like bounce lighting kind of stuff. What? Just waiting for me? These are the ray tracing algorithms years ago for work. These are for cellular and other radio site planning. That's true. For me, I only think about it in game development terms, but yeah. I like how one's like leading up ahead like that. I wonder if they have like preferences for paths for each individual cat. Oh, they tell you. They flat out just tell you. It's funny how a lot of gaming tech has very strong uses elsewhere. So, I mean, it's not even really gaming tech anyways. 56 gigs of video RAM. That sounds about right. Ray tracing is extremely expensive. If you're, well, depending on, you know, how many raycasts are you doing. If you want to try to generate a full image on a screen, it's going to be pricey. But for lighting, it's you know, it could be cheaper. For reflections, it could be really expensive. Oh, you automatically go down. That's good. That was that Assassin's Creed type of thing I was referring to earlier. They are very careful to not let me jump off. Oh, I have an idea what's going on here. I heard that. Oh, well, hey, at least we landed. Fly, you fools! I had to. I'm not ashamed. Oh, okay. Not quite on the feet anymore. I'm slipping right down there. Oh, it kind of looks like we got a broken leg or something. Okay, I don't want to see that. Ooh. Alright, take it easy. We are... Don't tell me we were bagged up. What is that, a death state? Hold on. How's the leg? I can't... Somewhat okay. It's a mannequin. I really shouldn't be meandering around in the darkness. What's that prompt all about? Just jump? Oh, we just have a jump prompt. Oh, this must be super dynamic then. They must be guessing. So there's a movie concept called, it's called Day as Night, where they take daylight, like a daytime scene, and they darken it in post, and oftentimes they get this kind of like bluish lighting. Sorry, I got a cracky neck. I don't know how much of that stuff's audible. I know I adjusted my gate recently, but it should be pretty well tuned, I would hope. Ooh. This is some lighting. It's funny playing having recently been playing Elden Ring, I just want to keep jumping randomly. It kind of reminds me of how... Ooh. Yeah, we got like ticks or something. Very large ticks. When I was invading in the earlier Souls games, I would just roll a lot while waiting, to be rolling back and forth. I don't know where those things went. Ooh, okay, we have some height here. Okay, we have minor flight. Oh. Oh, it responds. I just did it for the hell of it. Huh. I mean, I guess it isn't that bad of an idea to do cat things, right? Meow, jump around, push stuff around. Hmm. Oh, no you don't. Head crab looking things. Ooh, man, we got that's acrobatics right there. Ooh. Robot friend. I don't feel so good about being at the bottom of this. I want to be... I'm gonna jump on rooftops and stuff. I just cannot get high enough, though. Human personnel only. Had to do it. Oh. Who do you think I am? I can't read. Hold on, I got important business to do. Oh, you know what? I forgot. One more game where you can vocalize. Untitled Goose Game. Almost forgot. Ooh, okay. Oh no, I can go backwards, I can't go forwards? We can. Okay, apparently somebody knows there's a cat skulking about. That is not a thing I expected. What are we doing with this? I don't see any dripping water. I can't collect a drink or anything. Makes noise though. Hold on. Oh, it does. Hold on. I go to the front of this. Oh, you can't meow with this in your mouth. Did I used to stream live? Did I used to live stream Dark Souls all the time back in the day? I did. I did. Ages ago. Elden Ring recently. I'm waiting for the next patch though, because wow. I'm hoping that the next patch is gonna be the big, the next big balance patch, or probably, I mean, the amount of updates they've been posting kind of look like they're gonna do a minor DLC, but I don't know. What brought you back then? I know after Dark Souls 3, I kind of petered out a bit. Oh, really? After Dark Souls 2? Yeah, I don't think I can put these to use yet. I think I can just grab them. Take one with me, though. Or, well... That'd be a little better than that, I think. Why can't I jump to the other one? Remember my name? Brought back super fun memories? Oh, if it was Berg duels, that was ages ago. That was Dark Souls 1. Oh, I seen this in a tweet at one point. Whatever shall we do? Should I just go in and become hamburger? Well, I feel bad doing this when there's a heat wave. But you know, I'll be fine. Yeah, the funny thing about Berg duels was like, that was like the only time where I really did duels ever. And that was basically where I refined my parry ability to where back in Dark Souls 1 I was just crushing people. It was ridiculous. That was why I was getting stuck, like I'd be stuck sitting in the Berg for, you know, an hour at a time plus, undefeated, and just got bored of it. I don't... I've had my fill of Dark Souls 1, but, I see, okay. I definitely got a bunch out of it, for sure. Funny thing about Dark Souls 1 left-handed weapons, the Lucerne actually was better, slightly better in your left than your right. I can't jump? Oh, I can. Wait, what was that? Okay, somebody definitely wants to get a hold of me. Do I need to break some glass here? Don't. Well, I guess, you know, we're a cat. Cat things need to happen. Yeah, right. Yeah, they even marked it with the paint too. Oh, we're doing it. I gotta just accept it. This is who I am now. There was a stretch in Dark Souls 1 where I had just... Like, everyone was just using medium shields for parries. The super tryhards were using bucklers. Or I guess target shield? I don't know. I can't lick that. Or... Oh. Well. Embrace it. Oh, I gotta do everyone, I guess, too, don't we? We gotta... Well... Everyone was using medium shields. A lot of people were using, like, buckler or target shield kind of stuff. I eventually switched to the parrying dagger for the longest time. Basically on Xbox. Because Xbox had slightly lower... Well, had less lag and less input lag. Because they weren't using the old school Bluetooth implementation that PlayStation was. We got a little Roomba. No, it's not a Roomba. What is this? It's just a tray with a light or something on it. Oh no, you know what? I'm misreading that entirely. I'm like zoomed in like this, thinking that little interaction dot is a light. But yeah, at the start of Xbox Dark Souls, I was so used to the massive delay on PlayStation, I was able to sight parry like everything. And so I dropped the Silver Knight shield. Well, initially the Black Knight shield, I think. And I was just using that. And still crushing people. But I'm so out of practice now. That and everybody's using like glitchy stuff now. Everyone's gotten into toggle escape this and dead angle that. I think a lot of games are like that. A lot of multiplayer stuff. Somebody has purposefully set this up. A lot of games have a point where a lot of the like non-intuitive tech, the weird like incorporating weird glitchiness into a game, and that's kind of the point where the game becomes inaccessible, especially to anybody who had practiced on, you know, not using that glitchy tech, and then B, anybody coming in from the outside who hasn't played the game before. I mean, I did learn how to like do. I could parry, or I could reliably block dead angles and stuff. That wasn't the end of the world. It was mostly like toggling basically means that nobody has any stuns anymore and stuff like that. It basically says because by virtue of this tech existing, this like glitchy tech existing, game systems don't exist anymore. And that's the sort of stuff I don't like. Oh, that one's active. Or yeah, they're still going. Oh, oh. Oh, I think I hit the off button. And yeah, Cabby, like I certainly get it where everything that can be treated as tech will be, even if it's like bugginess. Most of the time, like responsible developers will figure out how much of that to codify into their game and how much of it sort of almost look like a Valve logo. Or, you know, Steam logo, I guess. Some developers will codify the stuff that they want to keep, and that's cool tech. And other developers just, like, don't do anything. Like, FromSoft is very minimal about fixing stuff. And it's like, the stuff that you don't want to include as bugs, you should get rid of. And the stuff that you do, you should make it a formal system as best as you can. Like skiing in tribes, for example. But when the systems are players learning very specific inputs to that are unintuitive inputs, what ends up happening is you end up extremely you exclude a lot of players who would never have any exposure to it on the way in. Oh, well, we better get moving. Hungry head crabs. They are missing though. I'm having like physical collision with these things and not getting eaten. Oh. Okay, you can mash them off a bit. Oh, there's a way out here. I might have made a wrong turn here. Oh no. Well, we answered that question pretty quick. Yeah, now that I'm seeing this cursor over and over again, I kind of really wish it was a mouse cursor. Well, I don't know, it is kind of like... It is kind of... Especially if we find out that these things are like energy parasites or something like that. Having the cat just drop to the ground like that is kind of rough. Minus some stuttering as you load a bit. The game has been very smooth. I'm very happy that there's a small amount of camera smoothing when you move. Oh yeah, I avoid tall grass. I think the stuttering is because they intend for these games to be played. Like, I think they're really aggressive with their streaming. I think it's because they intend for these games to be played on an M2 NVMe drive, and I don't have one yet. Hey, Griff. I should really build a new PC. I initially wasn't going to do it until I had a 3080 or so. But then I ended up getting one. Finally. At great expense. And the only game that I really wanted to build a new PC for at the time was Elden Ring. Well, that and faster video editing. What's this game about? So far, it has been, you're a cat separated from other cats, and you're trying to get back. The world looks really grim. It seems like there's still evidence of humanity and mentions of humans, but no sign of them. It seems so far there's lots of robots, but only one that actually had any power so far. The rest of them were kind of just like deactivated husks. And it's, I guess, about navigating this post-apocalyptic world and finding, either getting back home or at least getting back to the rest of the cats. I don't know if I consider that to be a pack or what. New hardware power draw kind of concerns you? My apartment, yeah. After getting that 3080, playing games in my apartment, it gets a lot hotter. I mean, there's benefits to it. I mean, Elden Ring doesn't run any better. Like, not very much at all. I think most of it is just that, like, I'd probably say it's more so a benefit of, like, video editing is faster. If I want to run games at 4K, I can. Oh man, they gotta get these pipes fixed. And video editing is only faster because, like, all the CPU heavy scrubbing and encoding stuff is faster. Like, I don't even know if I need proxies anymore. I believe right now I'm bound by hard drive speed and by a little bit by CPU, depending on the application. Oh, that's cool. No, I know. I just did the thing. Just trying to figure out how to work that out. How can we get up, though? Oh, I'm dumb. Alright. Nobody called me out for that one. It's been a while since I played relatively organic physics in puzzles. What? Give me a nod. Hold on. No. Hold on. Look at me. Oh, it's off. It's dead. Camera's gone. If you ever want to make a game feel modern, add a small amount of camera smoothing. Like, notice how it doesn't stop on a dime when I drop the analog stick like that, but it's still very responsive. That's something that one of the, I guess 2 of the MOBAs that I worked on, I had wanted camera smoothing. So if you're moving the camera, well, that's funny. So the camera scheme that I wanted for the MOBAs that I worked on was basically WASD camera movement, and rather than like the, you know, the click to drag camera movement. And I just was never able to get. I was never able to get anybody on board with that, but it was a better way to play. Makes you like way less dependent on massive APM. Yeah. It's me. I'm the same cat. Oh, are they all turning off when I leave? Yeah, I think somebody's monitoring this. Oh, no, not this again. What was that? Well, hold on. Who are we to follow directions? Oh, well, okay, we have no choice. Okay, it's fine. Did the devs of this game also make Little Nightmares? I would doubt it, because I think this game's been in development for a very long time. Like, I would say, I'd almost kind of feel like this game's been in development since, like, 2018 or something. It seems like I heard about it ages ago. I don't even remember where or when. Just a long time ago. Up. There's that spin again. That's a common bug for it's a common bug for games, and the most frequent cause is if you don't have the ability to properly loop back. Like, so you know how like rotation is like typically a 360 degree or a float of equivalent. If the game can't decide that if the game can't resolve it needing to go like a negative number backwards, then you'll do this like flip arounds. So like for example, if you want to go from like 10 to negative 10 or something, some games will just decide that it's quicker to go the entire way around than to get to negative 10, because if they're assuming that your target is like 370 or something. Been a bunch of bugs for that too. There's the gif of the dude from Mass Effect where he's like turning around to like he was like, the fuck do you say, or something, like some sort of that sort of like indignant response, and he turns around to go look at somebody else, but his head does the entire flip around. Tell me somebody's heard of this before. These are like pigeon spikes. I really don't like any of that kind of any of those features on architecture, because it reminds me of hostile architecture, all the anti-homeless stuff. Like one of the, it's funny, like for a time, I could probably have reasonably been able to rank the things that I hate of that sort of stuff. I wanted to see if I could repeat the only the two. For a time, I thought I would be able to rank the things that like infuriate me like that, right? But now I don't know. But anti-homeless architecture, hostile architecture, is one of the big things that upsets me. Like, people are down on their luck and not in the best of scenarios, and it's like, yeah, you're not allowed to sleep anywhere. We're gonna put spikes and shit everywhere. And then the other thing is, like, it makes things worse for people who are not homeless, like people who just want to sit at the bus stop or whatever. And then even more than that, which also sucks, is that people say, oh, we put this gap in this bench so that people in a wheelchair can, like, sit there. It's like, no, that's because you're an asshole. People with a wheelchair can sit wherever the hell they want. They're sitting. It's the cases where you make obnoxious places to sit that could have been used to sleep. If you want to say, oh, we want to make things better for people on a wheelchair, we'll build more functioning ramps and shit. Wider spaces. Don't use other people as an excuse to be hostile. Don't pick a group and say, oh, they should be the target of your attention rather than, people who don't want to, make the world better. God damn it. I didn't say anything to my phone, and it picks up like it's trying to listen to me. And even looking at the captions on the stream, nothing looks like the key phrase to open my to give commands to my phone. This is kind of, honestly, I gotta say, this is kind of refreshing for how many random games have like bars you can't pass through, but your character could easily sneak through. In fact, this game seems to pick a route and like, instead of your character getting stuck, like here, like where you have to do that weird, awkward kind of like slide to the side, it like forces you thread the needle. That's a nice touch. Also, for whoever it was who had made that reference a while back, where they're like, oh, like The measure of whether it's a good game is what your character does when you bump into a wall, and the worst games make you slide against the wall like you're still walking. Which I don't subscribe to, by the way. Have you seen the Lewis Rossman video how they designed the vents? I think they did a slanted one, didn't they? I don't remember that particular video that Lewis had put out, but I think he's made videos like that in the past. Oh, need some camera collision or something there. I don't know what happened there. I find bugs in like every game I play. It's a shame that QA gets treated so poorly and doesn't get paid well, because that'd probably be really great QA. On top of, like, you know, it's not as simple as just find bugs and demonstrate them. QA is a ton more than that. You know, managing documentation skills, lots of stuff.